One, two, three, guys. I hope you read me well. I changed the thumbnail. Like it. Yeah, I just speak into my Telegram group. And we have also the chat visible, I hope. No? Seems like we don't have the chat. How can I switch on the chat? How can I pump on the chat? Oh, here we go. Yeah, somehow you didn't like the thumbnail, so I decided to switch it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I heard me correctly. Why are you banning Americans from your chat for calling out you for celebrating this? I'm not celebrating this. I'm not banning anyone. Maybe my administrators do, but not me. So guys, quickly, what happened? Let me check out if we can go with the Telegram page. I wonder if you can see this. Okay. Firstly to mainstream media, and after go to the other pages. So what happened? On a rally, on one of the Trump's rallies, come on, advertisements. I don't need advertisements. Trump injured in shooting at Pennsylvania rally that left at least one dead. So sadly there, yeah, you already know what happened, and sadly there are some of the victims of this accident. And unfortunately, one bullet hit someone nearby and just touched the ear of the Trump. So Trump was really close to leave the presidential race, but he's still in and he was coping with this stuff, I mean, quite okay. Why are we not seeing this video? Okay, I'm just gonna go maybe to my Telegram channel for the better picture. Guys, I don't know what you see here. Maybe I should remove this window and put this window. Okay, this was previous thumbnail that you didn't like. Russ did a great work on my Telegram channel. I'm updating you with everything. So here we have some sort of the videos, and this is the case itself. Let's listen to it and watch it, obviously. So this is what happened.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So I guess there was not just one shot, but many of those, like at the beginning.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
1, 2. So at least two immediate shots I heard, and Trump was facing this side. The sun was coming from the right side, obviously, and so the shooter was somewhere in the area on his left, so he wasn't facing directly the stage. I mean, the shooter, he was from the side, and Trump at first didn't realize what happened.
Look at what happened.
And only after he felt the shot, and obviously he could hear the bullets. He touched and he realized that it is the assassination attempt. So I think it's not staged because of, first of all, his reaction.
Take a look at what happened.
And quite a firm reaction by security services, I may say. in Europe, in many of those assassination attempts, like sometimes happen, not in Europe, I mean in general. Recently we saw like on the Prime Minister of Japan, on Fico, the security didn't work well. Here we see that security, that American security really does fantastic job. I mean, their reaction is quite nice. They hesitated for a couple of seconds because they didn't like it's normal human reaction. Then you check everything, you have this some sort of the time gap before real acting, like on any sort of the situation on the road, for example. So they also monitor the situation on the stage, and then okay, those are the shooting. They start to put the Trump down, covering him with their own bodies, and they have the armor vests on them weared. So here they are protecting Donald Trump from the further shooting. And after all, we see multiple shots. It's the counter-terrorist action performed by the snipers of the security. Again, they've done a fantastic job. From what I understood, they eliminated the shooter. More security engines are coming. And I don't see if someone hurt in the back. Maybe because the stage is big and we did see the part of the stage it's hidden by this flag. So I think it's not staged. I think it happened for real. I think it happened for real based on the reaction on those security services. And after the threat went off, they wanted to remove Trump, and Trump rose his hand in salute because he wants to show that he is strong. Still, I don't see if someone hurt on the back, but again, we are facing stage at the front, and the shooter was shooting on the back, so for sure, like, it's out of the camera. Just want to read the chat. Just gonna remove the Telegram window. Okay, guys, I want to see the chat. What do you think about this? Screen froze. Oh yeah, I paused the video to give my own comments. It's fake blood, not no. I don't think it's a fake blood. It's really happened. Ripped to the blind beast. Okay, wrong view. Then it's frozen screen. No, it's not frozen. Like I was explaining to you. I hope it's not frozen. Badass movie by Trump, standing back up and not running. I don't think he got the time to run away. I mean, he was at the stage by that time, and I don't think he got the time. He was immediately covered by the security agents. Well, everything might happen. Like, I still think that there's the probability that it could be staged in a modern Hollywood world, but here I think it's not. Like, I just give like a couple percent that it is staged, but the rest is, I don't think it was staged. Some of the cats outside, sorry. I was just sleeping, then I saw, like, I put on the phone because I want to go to the toilet, and I saw the news, and luckily my admin Rust did a great job updating you guys. But yeah, actually it's a horrible event. So we have the official statement released from United States Secret Service. They performed the job to protect the ex-United States president during former President Trump campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, on the evening of July 13th at approximately 6:15 p.m., a suspected shooter fired multiple shots towards the stage from the elevated position outside of the rally venue. So clearly it was a long distance to reach Trump. United States Secret Service personnel neutralized the shooter, who is now deceased. So, he's gone. United States Secret Service quickly responded with protective measures, and the former president is safe and being evaluated. One speculation was killed. One spectator was killed. 2 spectators were critically injured. Critically, it means severely. The incident is currently under investigation, and the Secret Service has formally notified the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So, United States Secret Service, and they do a fantastic job. Have one more video. I just want to tell you I messed up with those windows to show you guys, but there is actually the job of the Secret Service snipers and how they do it with many of the shots directly towards the shooter. So they monitor the environment and they got the signal, they fire, and they were very precise. So they acted very, very fast. Unprecedented, let's say, reaction by Donald Trump. Stream started 5 minutes ago, yeah. So I think it is a real case, a real assassination and attempt of the assassination. And I also listened to the Combat Veteran Reacts YouTube channel. He already came out with a video, and he is also the ex-security serviceman, and he told that he thinks that it's all real also. So there is the very low probability that it was staged. Guys, because we are on a stream, I usually do the Sunday streams, but we are quite early, so I'm gonna stream right now. Maybe if I have some of the other data, I'll comment on that. Because YouTube recently did something with restricting my videos. I decided to, to put buy me a coffee. I don't know if I should share it here. Maybe I'm gonna put it here. Just if you want, you may support me, because YouTube is really a bad platform for me. I mean, in terms of monetization now, it's almost nothing. So, if you want, you can go there, and I will also read your comment if you check out this page, check out this link. I'll try it. If you don't like it, I may put it aside. And I want to read out your comments. What do you think about the case? Your personal ideas. I know that there will be lots of the conspiracy theories. My comments are sliced. I don't know. What is an AR-15 shot? Was it AR-15 shot? No. It was definitely some sort of the rifle with optics. I don't think that you can put a sniper optics on AR-15, but I don't think it will be effective. You need to have a good long-range rifle. Danik, що буде з України... Danik, I'm not Danik. Я Денис. Що буде з України, якщо Трамп виграє? What should be with Ukraine if Trump wins? I expect that United States will gradually reduce or even cancel the military support of Ukraine in that case, which is, I think, not really good. So Trump as the candidate is not profitable for us. I'm not saying that Ukraine is behind it. No, it's the internal stuff happening in the United States. Not the first time in the history. There were numerous of the assassination attempts of the United States presidents before. Some of them successful, some of them not. Russian propaganda already started to compare Donald Trump with JFK, with Kennedy, saying that he's the brave warrior who fights for what? I don't know for what, but yeah. But definitely it could be the only chance for the Trump not to win the elections, because now he has lots of the points, and with this failed assassination attempt, obviously he will gain even more support, and those people who hesitated, they would think, okay, there is the other side that performed this stuff, so we should definitely vote for Trump. So this situation is not good in general for Ukraine and for United States, I think. Respect from Albania. We watch you every day, Danik. I'm Dennis, but greetings to Albania. Thank you. I hope Trump changes his mind about Ukraine. Well, there is the probability that he will change his mind, obviously, if he won't see that his strategy doesn't help. Dennis, you're wrong about it. Trump will support Ukraine. Victor, hopefully, because now he has quite a lot of chances to win, I must say. Before he had good chances after a failed debate of Biden, and now he has many more chances again. B-Man, thank you for your support. Are you ever going back to Ukraine to fight? No. Trump, the real Iron Man. I mean, he used the situation in his favor, like he wasn't looking like a coward, let's say, on the stage. I just show you the picture, right? So he was not running away, he was not screaming or crying, he was grounded by, put it down to the stage by the security agents, and then the threat emptied, then everything was safe for him. He stood up and he saluted with a hand. Well, actually Russians use this sort of the salute for their Nazis, but anyways, Trump tried to encourage the crowd, and definitely he looked like a strong guy. I'm saying like it is, like his behavior was okay. Maybe Joe Biden would stand there because he wouldn't realize that he was shot to the ear. Hey, do you think this is set up? Respect from Wisconsin. I don't honestly think that it was set up. I think it was for real. And there are many of the other guys, for example, YouTuber Combat Veteran Reacts. He said that based on his experience as the serviceman in security service, he thinks that it was real based on the reaction of the patient now of the hospital, Donald Trump, and the reaction of the intelligence services. He thinks that it was real. Orban was just in Moscow and visited Trump in Mar-a-Lago. Any thoughts about the timing? Well, Orban delivers now the message from China, if we speak about the peace. So his visit was to introduce the China's peace plan, to see what is the reaction on that from Russia. So he's not really into the Russians' demand to let Ukraine to give up, to force Ukraine to give up many more territories. So he really wants to stay in the current situation, which is also profitable for Russia, by the way. But I don't think they staged this like this some sort of connection with Donald Trump, and I don't think that there was the reason for Donald Trump to stage that, because after all he has the lead. If we check out the presidential polls, well, Democratic states will vote for the Democratic candidate anyways, even if it was the dog or a cat, as I told you, not just Biden. If it was a dead Biden, they would vote for him, just not to elect the Donald Trump. But in general, Trump now has the lead in presidential campaign. So to make this up, I mean, Trump is also the elderly guy, and there was the risk for him also under. He was like put it down to the ground by security service, so it's always a risky thing, especially for the House. But yeah, I think it was a real assassination attempt because there was no reason to make it up. A ketchup ear. But again, we don't know lots of the stuff, and still I give like a couple of the percent that it was staged. Yes, because we never know. Денис, буде Росія користувати ядерною зброєю? So will Russia use the nukes? I think if war goes on their territory fully, like if Ukraine goes fully with the forces to Moscow, Russia might use nukes in this war. But before that, I don't think so. We could be surprised, but then again, no. I do not wade into your Ukrainian politics. Do you not living in country with no personal info? And but if someone invaded my country, okay, I didn't get the question because my English is not good. Do we know the shooter yet? Let me check out. Okay, there were a couple of guys from Buy Me a Coffee. I will respond on their comments. Boom, boom, boom. Burry, thank you for constant good work. Thank you for supporting. Team just bought the coffee with no message. Thank you. Hi Dennis, can we hear you say earlier again on stream? Earlier. Yeah, it was. It's hard for me to pronounce that word. Okay, what we know so far. Let me check out my channel. Okay, probably I shared the fake photo on my thumbnail. Probably I should check it again. I mean, with this blood and everything, maybe it was made up. Some say. Okay, the shooter. Okay, there is the video showing how they remove the wounded guy. Okay, and there is the picture. I don't know if I should share it on YouTube because they will absolutely block me. Hopefully I can see it. So there is the body lying on the roof. Yeah, the quality, I understand the quality is not good, but there is the roof and someone is lying. So there is the shooter. I see the shooter is wearing the military style of clothing, so maybe he wants to look like security agent, serviceman, but he was eliminated, or she. So far we don't know the sex of the shooter. So definitely, if people died, like I think it wasn't staged. Like for what reason Donald Trump would? I mean, it's too much. It's too much to be staged. If it is staged like, okay, he would fall with his ear and etc., but it's too much. Like then people got shot left and right, so it's too much. Okay, here we have the report from the Wall Street Journal. Secret Service killed the shooter, law reinforcements say. So those are the latest news. Yeah, and definitely he looked like the serviceman of the security service, like wearing this military style uniform. And yes, obviously after this, the rating of Donald Trump will go up. I don't know what to say. Okay, here we have the no. Definitely, there was the damage to the ear of Donald Trump. The resolution is not good again here, but I can see it from the phone that the upper tip of the ear was definitely wounded. Like there is the damage, looks like on this picture. So I guess that was the real case. Again, there will be lots of the conspiracy theories about it, but it's too much to be just the fake assassination. Richard Lewis, thank you so much. So, what do you guys think about the case? If you thought there would be any chance for Democrats to win in 2024, your hopes and dreams just died. I mean, if Donald Trump becomes the United States president, it's not a catastrophic thing for the United States or Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine will be still Ukraine, United States will be still United States. But for Ukraine, it will be much difficult, and again, Russia might take more ground if Trump decides to seize this military support of Ukraine. And I don't think that Trump is there forever. At first, he's elderly guy, and he cannot run for one more term. I think people of the United States will not let him to run for one more term. So I don't think that it is the catastrophic choice, let's say. I mean, Donald Trump. Some YouTubers like Jake Bro or I don't know, they have opinion that it will like destroy everything, but I don't think so. Trump already was the president, not the best one, but he didn't destroy the United States. I mean, come on, guys. But definitely he could harm a lot Ukraine at first and maybe the United States because he will bring uncertainty for this world in general. Republicans support Ukraine to Trump 2024. Sir thinks a lot. Thank you for your support. Yeah, there are lots of the Republicans who support Ukraine. I agree with you. And for me, like from the Republican side, I think Nikki Haley would be much better choice. For example, World War III might begin from the war in Ukraine. Absolutely. If the steps will be done in the wrong direction, it could begin from Ukraine. Maybe it has already begun. Maybe in the future we'll see historians say, okay, it's all started from Ukraine. Dennis is a hack. Forget about it in a month. Yeah, there's actually lots of the time till the final elections date. Everything might happen like with Donald Trump. But I don't think that with the current candidate from the Democratic Party, Democrats have the chance to elect their president. I think Joe Biden is... I think he's not capable. With all of the respect, I mean, he's done a lot to the United States politics. He's, how would call, a brave politician warrior, but there is the time to step down. The problem that all of his career, Joe Biden wanted to become the United States president, and now he is. So I don't think that it's quite easy to give up this power. I mean, it's like Lord of Rings, right? Yeah, people seems not to like Nikki Haley. I mean, compared to Donald Trump, I would vote for her. It's better. At least she's very supportive towards Ukraine. That's why. I mean, from their camp, from Republican side. So for Democrats, I think the best way would be to change Joe Biden on the run. The problem that there are not so many big media candidates, and again, it was done for purpose by Democrats during the previous year to concentrate all of the attention on Joe Biden, that he will be the candidate from the Democratic side, and now everybody says that it wasn't the best choice. So I'm not saying that for sure Biden loses the campaign, but he has lots of the chances to lose. India Griffith, thank you. Thank you, Dennis Slava Ukrainian. Героям слава. Dennis is a one-issue voter. I don't know. I would still vote for Biden. I mean, with all of the respect to the other side, but it's just, I think, better for Ukraine. My personal opinion. The president isn't all-powerful. Trump will not find anyone to second to Secretary of Defense, Chairman, or Joint Chiefs, National Security Advisor, who will support abandoning Ukraine. Live well, Ukraine. Thank you so much for your support. Well, I agree with you, but the issue that I saw some of the interviews with his previous team members, then he was in the White House, and they were shocked about some of his decisions, like also I think the security advisors and guys in military. For example, they were shocked then Donald Trump decided decided to introduce one-sided ban on the military drills near the Korean Peninsula. Then military drills performed by the United States and South Korea there lots of the times regularly. So Kim Jong-un, during their meeting in North Korea, decided say to Trump that he doesn't like those military drills, and Trump at the same day calls for canceling those drills. I don't know forever or not, but security service and military were shocked about this decision, and they didn't even warn the South Korean side of those that they're canceling the drills. And he gave up those drills for nothing. I mean, there was no profit from North Korea. He just said, okay, we're going to cancel it from our side. But what was the reason? Because there is no any profit for United States was by the time. So I heard lots of those interviews from his previous team, and that concerns me. Like, I understand that Trump wants to do the business like in the business sphere, but politics is different. Sometimes your logic is different than in business. Trump is for China and Russia. Wonderies. I don't think. I think he has clashes with China. He had clashes with China. I think he is very anti-China, and I wouldn't say that he's working for Russia, but now his interests lies in the same, let's say, interests of Russia. So he said, and the leaks from his team say that he wants to negotiate with Russia on Ukraine. He wants to force Ukraine to give up territories. That's what we all hear from Trump's camp. That's what worries me. Can we get Biden a Volk? Dennis, please only report Ukraine. Stick to what you know. I report wherever I like. I like the United States topics because it just influences my country, and I mean all of the country around the world, because America is so powerful that it's not just your president. Let's say your external politics really matters. Your support really matters, especially right now for Ukraine. So I'm really interested in the topic of the United States. Even in the country I'm right now, people are interested in the United States politics, even though they have almost no influence on who will be the next United States president, but they are interested in that, and from what I understand, they're mostly frustrated with the candidates, both of the candidates running for the president's office. I firmly believe Trump will support Ukraine, hopefully. Uh, Charlie Zulu 75, thank you so much for your kind support. America first, Trump 2024, just using Putin's troll army as he did in 2016, not really collusion. Well, today we have the report from the Wall Street Journal that they think that, and they rely on the intelligence services of the United States, that Russia launched the bot campaign to support Donald Trump in social media. So, and they want to change, right? They want change. They want. They think that Trump will stop supporting Ukraine and he will negotiate. Even though I don't think that they know the real plan of Donald Trump. I don't think that they know. You know, also there was the story then. Russia supported President Zelensky. Russia supported President Zelensky on his run in 2019. I'll just read this comment. I'll explain everything. I heard the theory a while back about Biden being able to legally assassinate Trump. I guess they were correct on the theory, unless it wasn't Biden and anti-MAGA group did it. You think? Destroyer dog. You know, there is a Ukrainian journalist, journalist Ivan Yakovina, and I watch him sometimes, and he said many of the times in few of his videos, and he started to say it like 2 weeks ago, that there could be the candidate scenario applied on Donald Trump because he thinks that Biden could have done it, but I don't think so. Maybe anti-MAGA group did it. Well, again, it will launch lots of the conspiracy theory. I don't want to speculate at this stage. I need more evidence. Trump will never support Ukraine, and the world knows it. Another answer is lie. Yeah, I'm also afraid of this. Call Washington. Thank you for support. So I afraid of that a lot. Under Trump, American troops fought Russians in Syria. Yes, I wonder if they were there before the Trump. So I need to Google it. Sorry, I'm not really into Syrian conflict, but definitely there was some fighting, and I think under Trump also. I mean, under the military by the time of the Trump presidency, the Wagner forces were ambushed in Syria. They lost more than 200 army personnel out there. Apaches did the job quite firmly. So, guys, about Russia and President Zelensky. Russia wanted to negotiate like Minsk agreements. They want to create this cancer tumor in Ukraine with the Russian peace. They want 2 oblasts, Luhansk and Donetsk, to be presented by pro-Russian MPs, members of parliament, in Ukrainian parliament, and they wanted to start this internal clash in Ukraine by implementing the Minsk agreements. And definitely, if you look at the Minsk agreements, definitely it should be like that Ukraine should recognize the government, apply them into the Ukrainian political life. But Poroshenko signing Minsk agreements, he signed the agreements, but he didn't really implement those in real life. Well, at least some of the points. He was waiting for the Russia to implement their part, and Russia saw it as they're losing it, and they thought that new president like Vladimir Zelensky could resolve the issue and continue to follow the Minsk agreements by introducing MPs from self-proclaimed republics into Ukrainian parliament. So on their channels, in Russia, they were calling Ukrainians to vote for President Zelensky. They even asked the ex-Ukrainian Prime Minister Azarov, by the time of Yanukovych, to call for Ukrainians to vote for Zelensky, not for Poroshenko, because Russia was disappointed with Poroshenko. But then Zelensky was elected. Russia understood that he is not following their plan. He's such a strange guy. Even though by the time Zelensky was a comedian, he went many times to Russia. His mother language is Russian. His relatives were fighting in a great patriotic war. That's what Russia say, and that's really happened. So they thought that this guy will promote the Russian narratives, but they were wrong. So maybe now Russia also thinks that Trump will support them fully and follow their Russian narratives. But I think that Putin also could be disappointed with that, as they were disappointed with President Zelensky. Zelensky really was like, it doesn't matter what language you speak, blah, 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 like Russian, Ukrainian, even in his greetings for the new year, etc. But now we see that the picture is totally different. Okay, there were some of the super chats. I need to go for it. Sorry. Love your daily videos, keep it up, but please stop blaming other countries for not giving you all weapons you need and blaming Biden for not letting you win. Be thankful you're getting weapons, please. Sparky, we're very, very thankful, but you know what happened? Like, Ukraine signed an agreement with the United States, with the United Kingdom, and with Russia, that they recognize our sovereign right. Like, I know this paper is not valid. Like, it's the document that is not obligatory to comply by those countries, just the memorandum. But there is the text that they agree to maintain Ukraine's sovereign right, and Ukraine gave up nukes for that. I think it was the huge step for Ukraine to give up nukes. So instead, we need military support. The military support enough to fight against such a huge force, like, for example, Russia. Even though Russia guaranteed the sovereignty of Ukraine as well. So we see the betrayed, and I think the only thing that might guarantee the sovereignty for any sort of the country right now are the nukes, unfortunately. And we'll see in the future, in a very close perspective, how many of the countries will start to develop nukes. And it is bad, actually. So I think that for the United States, if they really take the word, they should support Ukraine with everything. And we see that support is limited. And I'll continue to talk about it, because even our volunteers from the United States and from UK, they also continue to say that the support is not enough. So I'll just transfer their message to the wider audience. Sorry about it, but we have what we have. Thanks, God bless you, troops. I'll never hear Trump says this. He sells Biden's, that's all. He sells Biden he says Bibles, that's all. I mean, we have lots of the warnings, like the information coming from the Trump scam, that he's willing to negotiate on Ukrainian territories, like to give up Ukrainian territories for peace agreement, which will be absolutely temporary. Dennis prepares Belarus for war against Ukraine. Per Eric, thank you for your message and for your donation. I heard the news today that Belarus called, like the leader, the self-proclaimed leader of Belarus, called his forces out from Ukrainian border. Like, they want to de-escalate right now. It was really interesting. So, yeah. We all thought that there was the escalation, like, and there were numerous of the reports that Belarus might escalate again, but now they withdraw the forces. Remember these words, Dennis. Tension in the United States is red hot right now. Trump will be at this convention next week and will remind you of Putin's broadcast before 2022 invasion. Democratic convention will look like Maiden. Sorry, I didn't. Coach John, thank you for your support, but my English doesn't allow me to understand fully your comment. Betsy, thank you for your support. It can be said now requiring Ukraine to hand over their long-range bombers to Russia was a mistake. It can be said now, yeah, not just bombers, but the missiles themselves. Like we have the real missiles, ICBMs, etc. Ukraine was, I think, the third nuclear power by the time. We had even more nukes than in China. Do you think Ukraine is playing it's too safe? They 100% have the manpower and weapons to at least do localized counterattacks in force, but they keep using a fluid defense line instead. Falco, on the paper, Ukraine has lots of the forces, even more than Russia has in Ukraine. Like Russia has now around 500,000 troops. Ukraine has 700 with something, excluding police, security forces, so 700 with something thousand forces, from which around 200,000 are used. So 500,000 forces are used behind the front lines. And even after many of the assessments and inspections done by the Ukrainian military, they don't send all of those forces to fight. Maybe there will be no newcomers like massively coming to Ukrainian army, but that's why they want to save army men. It's hard to tell. I'm not the general, but from what I see, yes, definitely Ukraine trades some parts of the territory, removing the forces from the positions which are bombed by the Russian gliding bombs, for example, and retreating. They cause Russia also tremendous losses. Pretty cool that YouTube gave Biden his own emoji. There are lots of the memes about Biden, especially after he misspelled Zelensky and Putin. I mean, it might happen to everyone, but in Biden's case, he definitely should look on what he says, because this just mooned out of what was really happening on that conference. I mean, the idea of the conference is just forgotten under the Biden's misspelled Zelensky and Putin. Zelensky said, "I'm better." It was funny. Thank you for answering my question and pronouncing my name so well. Haden, you did a great job. All we have to do is to get rid of Putin to end this. Yes. Don't you think? Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. But I think that our allies, they have this joker. They have it. As they've done today with this shooter, they could easily do it with Putin. They have their own intelligence in Russian high command. We know it. They might do this operation. So I think if Putin is up to use ICBMs against NATO countries or something like that, they'll get rid of him. But for Ukraine, they will not do it, unfortunately. Maybe if Putin uses the tactical nukes in Ukraine, just in this case. Stan Stein Gergescu. I understand that I misspelled your name, but thank you so much for your support. Okay, I just want to switch for for the latest news about the event. Yes, I'm gonna stream half an hour more because I'll have the long road. I'm going to France today. I didn't eat, sorry about my stomach. It's just boiling. Maybe you can hear it. Oh my god, I just read the Russian channels. Russians, right. The video is probably fake because it's 2 hours a.m. nighttime, but they have the sun shining on the video with Trump's attack. So you see the intelligence of Russian military. Oh, it's just the comment, but nevertheless, Russian publics, they're just so funny. Maybe they think that they live in the flat Earth. It's 2 a.m. and they have the sunlight. The video was staged, it was recorded before. And Russians started to write, I don't know, I don't have the ability to show you the video, but they start to write on their shells that they want to revenge for Donald Trump. Elon Musk also put the similar thumbnail like I did here. It looks like legit one, actually. Yeah, Trump was so close from leaving this presidential run. Just imagine the ear. Oh my god, it's so close. Probably future historians will write, we were 1 inch from the biggest disaster or from the prosperity, who knows. We keep talking about sovereign nations and their leaders, but don't you think that defense corporations play a bigger role in our now global society? The leaders of the defense corporations need more scrutiny than presidents and dictators. Maybe. I mean, the world, whether we like it or not, guys, but this war launched the machine of the military production in the United States and in other European countries. I forgot to thank you for the huge donation for William Maxwell. Thank you so much for maintaining the motivation on YouTube. So definitely corporations are getting more and more money because of the war, and it's just a start. I mean, United States, the plan for the United States is to produce many more artillery shells in the coming years, many more of the other munition, and we know that old military units, mostly old, are going to Ukraine, so United States needs to produce new military units. So it's all the part of this huge big system and big chain. There were some of the reports that there was the assassination attempt also of Rheinmetall concern CEO. Russians tried to do it, but I don't have the proofs of that information yet, so I'm not speaking about it openly in my videos. So definitely those companies might have huge influence, and they have the huge influence. And obviously there will be conspiracy theories that Trump wants to negotiate on peace with Ukraine, but military corporations, they want to extend this war. They want to supply more weaponry, produce more weaponry, reform the United States Army with more weaponry. And they didn't like the Trump's idea to stop the war because it will stop their income. So they did it. Like they did it. It is their job to assassinate Donald Trump. So obviously there will be some sort of those ideas as well as many of the other ideas that will obviously appear. Bang bang to Putin and all be good. Yeah, this one is good. USA is the world's soap opera. Yes, it's a huge drama, like huge political drama in the United States. I wonder if it has ever been like that before in American life, like such a big drama about those elections. And you know, guys, I saw the elections, like partial elections in the United Kingdom, how conservatives, conservatives, they lost their lead for Labour Party for the first time in I think 17 years, something like that, 14 or 17 years. And Rishi Sunak came out, okay, we accept the defeat, we recognize the new prime minister, and we should reform our party to perform better. So, wow, completely unexpected behavior, like for, I think, ordinary American. Very few dictators arm the opportunity in history. So something doesn't seem right with this shooting. Yeah, the shooting itself is not right. Like it's for me, it's crazy that that stuff is happening in the United States. Still, there were numerous of the cases before in the history, in the recent history, and you know, United States presidents continuously just get assassinated or attempted to assassinate it, or how to say it in English. All right. Biden was informed about what happened in Pennsylvania, White House reported. You know, there was the assassination attempt of Viktor Yanukovych. I'm just gonna show you this picture. It's the Ukrainian president. It was very funny. I'll show you why. And you'll understand why Trump behaved really, really nice. Oh my god, by the time the video quality was so bad. Just want to show the proper image. Come on. Alright. The video quality is bad, but probably you can see it on the screen. This is the Yanukovych, the ex-Ukrainian president, and he is like falling down because of the assassination attempt. I think it happened somewhere in Donetsk Oblast. During his rally, he just went from the bus and was hit straight to the chest, but not with a bullet, but there was the egg. Someone just someone just threw the egg towards him, and the egg went to his chest, and he thought that there was the bullet, not the egg. So he immediately started to faint, like, oh my god, I'm dropping down, and later on the egg becomes the symbol of the opposition to Yanukovych. He was so fluffy. I mean, so. And after that, he lost many of the points, obviously, after this behavior. But Trump, with his behavior today, he will gain the points because after being hit to the ear, he was standing up, like after everything was clear, after the shooter was eliminated, he stood up and yeah. I just, just sad story about the guy who was behind in the crowd. even though he was a Trump supporter, doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. He or she, I don't know who was their spectator, who joins the Trump's rally. So American citizen, first of all, he died because of it. So it's bad. It's bad. It doesn't matter who him support. It's the free will, you know. America is the freedom country of freedom. So it doesn't matter whom he or she supported, but the bad thing that he or she gone. Do you know if Australian anti-drone system Slinger has arrived yet? Looks like a good system. Yeah, I read about it. I think last year already, but I don't know whether it's in Ukraine or not. I need to check out. Also, Dave, thank you so much for your support. Greetings to Australia. Australia recently allocated lots of the funds for the Ukrainian support. Trump pooped himself, then asked if they got the guy stood. You was there. You was smelling his shirts or trousers. Don't write like that if you don't know. Like I'm not the Trump supporter, but I support truth. I support truth. From what I saw, Trump's reaction wasn't fluffy, like, and I think that it really happened, like all of this case. Mm. Doug and Christy from New Zealand. Thank you for being part of family of the last 2.5 years. We look for you. Then you are not here. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, some people just watch me every day. Yeah, I'm a little shy about it, but thank you so much for your constant support. Um, I don't know what to say. Levy, thank you so much for giving the sponsorship opportunities. I mean, for others to take the sponsorship. Also support truth and being real. Yeah, we need to be real, not to lean towards any sort of the propaganda. Honestly, I don't care about the Trump's personality. I understand that he loves himself, he's narcissistic, but if he would say like, I support Ukraine with military even more than Biden, I would, okay, that's good guy. But if we see and hear the signals that he wants to trade Ukrainian sovereignty for peace, well, it's absolutely no go. That's why I don't like him personally. That's the only reason for me. I don't care what he does with the United States itself. I mean, he has no power actually to do something really, really wrong, because there are some other institutions. But as for Ukraine, I don't like his ideas. That's why I would honestly vote for Biden. At least he gives some sort of the support. Who was the best Ukrainian political and why? Also, thank you for all hard work. It's amazing what you do every day, Dennis. William Maxwell. As for me, maybe Kuchma, because by that time Ukraine got out from this huge crisis from after the Soviet Union collapsed, let's say. So Kuchma did some reforms, but after Kuchma, maybe Yushchenko also, but he was like very fluffy. He was out of the politician will, really, to reform the country. But the worst president, I think, was the first one, Leonid Kravchuk, who gave up everything. Army, nuclear weaponry. So he was definitely the worst one. Dennis from Australia. We wait for your daily updates on Ukraine. Unbiased reports Ukraine will be successful. We feel your views on Trump. We feel your views on Trump is correct. I don't know, honestly, if my views on Trump are correct. It's just my personal opinion. I just say what I think. It's hard for me to read your nickname, but Ma, thank you for your support. And greetings to Australia. Cool t-shirt. Yeah, I bought lots of the anime shirts recently. I saw them in a store and yeah, I decided to buy them. Дякую. Oh, Peter the Great. You mean Poroshenko? Yeah, Poroshenko. It's hard to say because he had his own corruption scheme. I mean, compared to the current president, I think Poroshenko was a little better because he reformed the Ukrainian army at least, and he built some defense lines on the east. So, yeah, maybe Poroshenko too. Zelensky building highways, not Wagner. Yeah, he was building highways instead of building trenches, and it's the biggest downside of the current president. Like the downside, what was what he done before the war. During the war, he done more or less okay. I mean, asking our Western allies for more and more military support. Even Trump called him the best salesman. And it's also not a good attitude, right, from Trump. Like he says, okay, I'll give him money, la la la. But I think it's also the interest of the United States of America to protect Ukraine, because Ukraine might join Russia if Russia occupies it fully. And our soldiers also say, like, if Russia is successful, they will force us to fight against other countries by kidnapping our children, imprisoning our relatives. They will say, okay, go and fight against Lithuania and other countries. And I don't think that NATO countries would like to see Ukraine and Russian joint army. You may think that it's unreal, but look at Chechnya. Chechnya was really fighting hard against Russian forces, and now they fight together against Ukraine. So history might be changed very easily and very fast. Not the history, but the consequences. Let's check out some of the other stories about our case. We still have no personality of the shooter. No personality at all. Okay, what Biden says, we have the first comment from Joe Biden. Biden says everybody must condemn attack on Trump, and later speaks with ex-president, so he had the communication with Donald Trump directly. They spoke. President Joe Biden said on Saturday that everybody must condemn the suspected assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Addressing the nation about 2 hours after the shooting, Biden said that he was relieved that Trump is reportedly doing well. He said he had been unable to reach Trump before his remarks, but the White House said he did speak to Trump several hours later. We cannot allow this to be happening, Biden said. The idea that there is a violence in the United States of America like this is just unheard of. Biden speaking without a teleprompter. Okay, without those text running. Said he was waiting for additional information before formally calling the attack an attempted assassination on former president. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts, he told reporters, pledged to provide updates he learns more. So actually, Biden later on, like he confirmed that it was the real attack if he, with his words, we understand it. So he hesitated to say about it right away, but after he gets the proper information from the security service, he acknowledges that it was the real fact. We need to tone down the political rhetoric, but politicians, I don't like political rhetorics as well. I don't like politicians in general, like any sort of the politicians. Don't call me anarchist, but in general, like all the politicians whom I saw, they're not following what people really need. So, but they influence our world, how we live. That's why we should speak about them. Why don't you train Ukrainian pilots? I'm not the instructor probably, and I don't have that. I didn't have this proposal from Ukraine or from the United States to train Ukrainian pilots. How can I train Ukrainian pilots if I'm not the instructor? I might be like the translator, you know. I can go to some sort of the camp where they train, study. I could be some sort of the ground instructor. I can explain about the system. I can read about it. I can explain it for them in their own language and make some sort of the translations. Okay, this is the transformer rectify unit. This is transformator, for example, for instance. It works on this frequency, он работает на этой частоте, він працює на цій частоті, чи як там. So I can tell all of the systems like from English into Ukrainian or Russian quite easily. I could be hired for the job, but I don't have those proposals. Or I can like explain like what really instructor means. Like I can be the third person during their training, not in the aircraft because there are no three seats, but I can explain what instructor means, and he explains something in English. I think I can do it. He or she. It's good that Australia is helping despite being so far away. Yeah, because Australia is the part of the democratic world, and now it is definitely the war between autocracies and democracies. The situation is good now. I don't know. For whom? Shooter was Lihar the clone now. Did you hear what Secret Service yelled to Trump right before the shooting? Donald Duck. Probably they call dunk like lie down, maybe like that. Not duck. I'm just searching, the guys, for the last events connected to the case. There's some other reports from Republicans on Twitter, that from the crazy side of Republicans, that they blame Biden for that, obviously. Oh, there is some shooting in St. Petersburg. The shooting in the St. Petersburg, and one of the main prospects, it's called Komendansky Prospect. As eyewitnesses say, there are several of the people walking with guns in camouflage uniform. They were shooting into the air, then they went to the car and drove away. No one was hurt. Maybe Chechens celebrating some sort of a wedding. Actually, not many news about the Trump's case are coming up. And yeah, what can we say more, right? Trump says that he felt the impact to his ear and also whistling sound. Feeling that Putin ripping through the skin. The attacker was a male. As recent reports say, man was shot and killed by a member of the Secret Service after the apparent assassination attempt. Yeah, not many news for now. What witnesses told that a man with a rifle could be seen on a rooftop minutes before shots. Witnesses told BBC's Gary on BBC. Witness called himself Greg said that the man had crawled on top of the building located just outside a vent in Butler County on Friday's evening.
So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up
you
there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling
Yep.
the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
So you heard the comments from the eyewitnesses. Hopefully you heard it. So first he complains that there was no attention to that particular person, but police, they're not able to identify whether it's the circus worker, Secret Service employee or not, or serviceman, yeah? Because the guy was wearing the military uniform. He was equipped like any other random serviceman. So they were not sure who that guy was really. And the other servicemen, as this eyewitness say, didn't see him from the other side of the roof. So just police was able to see him, from what I understood from his comment. And police didn't put too much attention on that. So, yeah. Imagine the shooter is Russian. I will see his identity, I think, very soon. I think in the coming hours it will be published. But the good thing, that Biden called Trump, after all. Biden called Trump and... Okay, we have the zoomed in photo about Trump, with Trump and his ear, and he was covered by... I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, the quality is bad, I know it. So it wasn't the ketchup. It wasn't at all. So BBC is quite good. They provide detailed information. I try nowadays to avoid the United States media because they're too harsh and sometimes on topic from the single side perspective. If they're Fox News or CNN, but the European media, they're more or less okay. Let's go to CNN. Law enforcement personnel will hold a news conference at 11:45 AT. 11:45 AT. Around 45, it's too late for me to stay live stream. Around 45, it will be in 10 hours. I think, or maybe, less, in 8 hours. Now it's 23:49, or night time. So again, they say that Biden is grateful that Trump is safe after Raleigh shooting.
No, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Do they really call him Duck? No, It's just foolish comment.
No, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, they told him get down, get down, get down, get down. Just 2 seconds, maybe maximum, after shooting started. Now let's go to your comments, and I'm gonna finish the stream in, I think, 10 minutes. Go to sleep. No, it's too late for me to sleep. I'm going to France by car. I will depart very soon. I need to pack my things and all of the stuff that you see, like these, and go for flying. I thought the how do you spell that? Teleprompters were still in first place though. Yeah, Biden is good at it. Then he has the text going. He is nice in reading. It's good for him. But sometimes he spells like the other words too, like say again. He said, I think he recently said, say again. down. No, they call him just get down, I think. Dennis, Donald Trump will help you and your country, then he gets elected, and you need to understand it. Daniel, we'll see. Now Donald Trump has absolutely huge chances to win. So the probability for us to see the Donald Trump as the new President of the United States is very, very high. Unfortunately for you, maybe unfortunately for Ukraine. Because I still think that he wants to... If he supplies more weapons to Ukraine, I would openly apologize for Donald Trump on my channel, but I don't think he will do it. Trump's blood is green. Illuminati, reptile Trump. Yeah. Oh my god. There's so many of the conspiracy theories. Some of them are quite shocking, like especially for me as for the aviator, those chemtrails, flat earth, and other stuff. And now there are many theories about the United States politics as well. And mostly those theories are coming from MAGA camp. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I'll not tell on YouTube. America is broke, dude. Yeah, political life in America is far to be perfect. Far from being perfect. Probably grammatically it's more correct. It's on now on CNN. Okay, I'll just check out the CNN report. I want to check out the CNN if they have the briefing. If have some live. No, they don't have any live. Even Charlie from Penguin Zero is streaming right now about this crazy event. Oh, we have many of the viewers still on the channel. It's good. We have 5 minutes left, guys. If you want to say something, say it. I may have the time to read the comment for you. To read it out. Radicals create radicals. Dennis, you're an anarchist. I'm close to that, but I'm not. I just don't like politicians. I'm not communist or anarchist, but I don't like politicians in general. because of the lies of everything. It's very, very rare that a politician is honest. Almost impossible to see. I like ordinary people who do ordinary job like me and you, so. And I would stay out of the politician career myself, just not to turn into this greedy bastard. Is your wife still flying? Yeah, she will. With me. Do you get paid to fly in Bulgaria? I don't fly in Bulgaria. I went there for 1 week to meet my parents. Dennis don't like Zelensky new highways. By the way, they're not maintained now. All of those highways that were built before the war, they were not maintained, and now there are big holes in those. Are people understanding of why Zelensky needs to stay in office past this official term? Legally, it's hard to say. Like, I'm not a lawyer, but maybe it's for now it's better for him to stay. Did never got golf? Oh, Betsy, you're still here. I thought you went sleeping. I just sent interesting link about the shooter's shirt to your Instagram. Let me check. Yeah, I have the link. Oh yeah, we have the image. He wears the American shirt. Okay. So, thank you for the link. I missed you. Where was that comment? I want to say thank you. How many languages do you speak? 3. Shit. I missed the comment. Oh, yeah. William Maxwell, thank you so much. Guys, I'll show you what the guys sent to my Instagram. Hopefully YouTube will not cut it. So there is the serviceman. So this is not the shooter standing. It is the American serviceman of the Secret Service, probably. The shooter is lying there on the ground with a wound in his head, and he is wearing some sort of the gray shirt. At first, I thought it looks like some sort of the uniform. He has the American flag on the shoulder, and the pants, the trousers. Well, they look khaki colored. I think it was shirt from a United States YouTuber. Ooh. Can you tell me more? Tell me what YouTuber? Oh, I have the warning that I need to get up. I already woke up. Lots of the influencers in the comments. Demolition Ranch. Oh, he was wearing a shirt of the... I know that YouTuber. William, thank you so much. Grand Thumb also in the comments. Garant Thumb also in the comments. I know him. Demolition Ranch. Let me check out Demolition Ranch. Legion Ranch. Yeah, I know the guy. He films like lots of the interesting stuff about. Oh, here we go. Yeah, definitely. It's the same shirt. The same shirt as the for the Demolition Ranch. Hopefully, I know that the quality is not good. Yeah, this shirt. This shirt. The shooter was wearing. I mean, it's not the same guy. I'm almost sure about it. Hopefully, but the shirt is the same. Like, oh, we should go to the end of the comments. Yeah, the white shirt and the panties look exactly like this guy. At first, I thought it's the security uniform. William, thank you so much for information you provided me with. Kind of interesting. I wonder if it's yeah, for sure it was done for purpose, but for what purpose, I'm out of clue. So the guy was wearing Demo Ranch merch. Yes. These. So he's not like. If you wear that merch, you're like more likely to support not Joe Biden, I think, because the Demo Ranch, he runs the channel dedicated to the firearms, and Biden's firearms initiatives are usually are not supportive. Penguin Zero watching conference. Where can I find this conference, guys? Share the link in the comments or on Telegram. I don't know. I'll check out. Oh, there is the conference on the Fox News. How can I make it live? Okay, I'll just go to display capture mode. You'll not see me, but you'll see everything. Sorry for it.
So that'll be, as soon as we've confirmed 100%, we're willing to release that. So if we have, as far as the contact information for the press, we should be able to do that within the next few hours, I imagine.
I'm sorry, so there was a vehicle being checked not far from here. We've also heard of a possible related scene in Bethel Park. Is there anything you can tell us tonight about other areas where law enforcement may be searching in relation to this event?
Again, right now, we're tracking down all leads and doing all interviews and tracking anything that we can regarding suspicious locations, vehicles, locations, interviewing individuals. So it's all related to this event, but I can't confirm or deny anything that's going on beyond that.
And what can you tell us about the weapon that the shooter used?
As far as the details of the weapon?
Yeah, what kind of a rifle was that? What did he use?
Okay. Until we have the confirmation of who the shooter is, and we'll release that as part of the investigative details later.
Why is that? Everybody jumped in extra resources, and one of the things that you said was bomb technicians. So is this standard procedure, or do you have reasons to believe that there are bombs somewhere in Butler County? Can you just walk us through that?
It's primarily standard procedure of any suspicious packages. In this case, there was identification of suspicious packages around where the shooter was, and so we deployed, in an abundance of caution, bomb assets to make sure that those were cleared for investigators to move safely in the area. We're still working on, it's still an active crime scene, so I'm not going to say that the scene is 100% clear at this time.
Why are there any Secret Service agents here right now for this press conference?
So Secret Service wasn't available for the press conference at this time.
What type of packages are you talking about? You're talking about packages, what, the suspicious packages like what near the shooter?
Really anything. I don't have specifics on what they were looking at, but
things he brought with them, like what are we talking
but
about?
there's people in the crowd will leave bags as they're fleeing the scene like this. So any suspicious packages we have to treat as it may be an explosive device.
And then how quickly, earlier, this goes then, I guess, to the Secret Service, which they're not here to talk about, I guess, but when you guys jumped into action, all law enforcement, and were able to take down that shooter, how quickly did everybody jump in, and who ended up taking him out?
So it was immediate, and we're still trying to figure that out. So we'll wait till we have more definitive information regarding that investigatively.
What about the person in the crowd? Do you have any information about how they were killed?
My understanding was it was from the shooter, but again, those will be details that are released later.
Do you search homes or apartments as a part of your method of identifying the individuals?
So if that's where the leads take us, absolutely.
Was Donald Trump hit with a bullet, do you know for sure, or was it potentially something else that could?
I don't have that specific information as far as the injuries to the former president.
I understand you're not releasing the suspect's identification right now, but as you know, is this person known to you guys? Is he somebody that you guys have been looking at through the threats he's possibly made online, et cetera, et cetera?
Again, the information that we currently have, we're looking at that obviously very intently, and as we know that information, we'll release that as well. So we'll need to plan another time for a follow-up press conference.
Are you looking at surveillance video at all?
We're looking at all investigative leads and all everything from, and that's why we asked the public, because I'm sure there'll be cell phone video, there'll be all kinds of information that we'll use to fully flesh out exactly what happened here.
I know you're saying you can't say what type of gun it is, but do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't.
And
I don't have that information as far as, that'll come out in the investigation as well.
Is there an identification tonight on the other victims?
As far as the civilians,
The civilians that were injured and killed?
Yeah.
So we do have identification on those. We're not prepared to release it at this time. We have notified a number of family members, but they have not had an opportunity to notify extended family and things. I would confirm for you that we did have one individual killed, and I know I heard somebody say about 2 victims. There were 3 in total besides the former president. So 2 critically wounded, 1 killed.
At this point, do you know if they were sitting near each other, and where in relation to the former president were they?
I don't have their exact seating by individual. Again, that'll all be part of the investigation, but their shots were scattered somewhat, and so they weren't just into one particular location.
you're saying just one fatality as of right now?
Yes.
The shooter and one fatality.
The shooter plus 1 fatality.
Did you have a chance yet?
So there was 1 victim of the shooter who was killed, and then the shooter was killed.
And then 2 in critical?
Yes, ma'am.
Witnesses say they saw a semi-automatic rifle used by the shooter. Can you share any more details of it? That's what
I've heard those reports as well, and again, we do have a good idea of what the weapon was, but again, that's all part of the ongoing investigation. And I'm not trying to be cagey about that. When the SAC talked about the need to be very methodical and to be cautious with that scene, we are doing just that. We don't want anybody else getting hurt, and candidly, there are some concerns that we'll be able to talk more about later on about just what those concerns are and continue to be.
Did you have a chance to talk to the shooter's family yet?
That's all part of the investigation.
There are a lot of really angry people. Are you monitoring if there have been any threats in response to this? Are you worried if there's been any specific threats?
That's certainly a concern, and we're monitoring that whole situation. I mentioned that we're bringing a lot of assets to bear, and so like the FBI utilizing their analysts, we also have the Pennsylvania Criminal Intelligence Center. We will utilize the resources of our intelligence division and the Criminal Intelligence Center to be able to monitor for concerns about any threats, regardless of the side of the issue or the political spectrum. We want to make sure that we try and avoid any further violence.
But no, nothing specific so far.
No, sir.
Without identifying them by name, can you say anything about the other folks who were injured or killed? Were they adults, male, female, anything at all?
They were adults, and they're male.
All 3?
Yes.
How difficult of a day is this for your department, though, or all of your departments? You have to go and talk to these family members, including the civilians who were gunned down while they just went to a rally to try and, celebrate against the upcoming election. What are those conversations like, and how do you kind of get through that?
We have trained investigators, and we're partnered hand in hand with the FBI, again, because we've got some federal violations, some state violations, and so our investigators are going out methodically. We have a large team of investigators that are going out, dividing up these interviews and trying to conduct them as quickly as possible, and then there will be follow-ups. With the FBI asking for people to call in tips, I have no doubt that we will receive a lot of additional information that will also require follow-up. But again, we're working very well together, and it's only a short matter of time until we get through all of those interviews.
Colonel, from your experience, how close a call was it for President Trump?
There were no police hit with bullets.
From your experience, how close a call was it for President Trump?
I'm not going to speculate or comment on that.
Have any of you talked to the president? Did any of you have any kind of reaction or anything?
No.
Which law enforcement agencies were tasked with securing this particular rally outside of the United States Secret Service?
Well, Secret Service always has the lead on securing something like this, but then they work very closely. And I hate to use the word routine, but it is a fairly routine matter for all of our agencies to work jointly with the Secret Service, and it really depends on the venue, on what information is out there, what number of resources are devoted to it, and we work with them to provide whatever is requested by the Secret Service, but they're the lead in that security.
Was there anything about this venue that made it particularly difficult to secure?
I would defer to the Secret Service to answer that. They would have done the initial assessment.
Was the rooftop part of what was being secured? Was the rooftop, given its proximity to the event, part of that process?
It's my understanding that was outside of the perimeter.
Did this shooter have any previous criminal history?
We're not going to comment on anything about the
Did
shooter.
any agency deny Trump's team extra security? Any of the agencies that are out there?
Not that I'm aware of.
If Trump had been the nominee already, would he have had additional security for this event?
There again, Secret Service has the lead, and I'm not going to comment or speculate on what may or may not be provided at any given point, depending on their status as a candidate. What I will tell you is that, in my experience, the Secret Service does an excellent job of maintaining security on protectees. They're very cautious. They don't hesitate to ask for resources, and candidly, we don't hesitate to supply those resources.
Deputy Colonel, when you're asking for the public's help, can you elaborate and be more specific about what you really like to see from the public? If it's videos, photos, personal accounts?
I think the videos and photos would be very helpful, and I think that once the shooter is identified, anyone that has specific information on that shooter, that would be very helpful as well to help us assess motive. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we are absolutely not taking for granted that this was a lone wolf attack, and so we would be looking for any additional information that might point us toward anybody else that may have had a hand in this.
Sir, at this point, what is the main focus of the investigation? What's the most important thing for you right now, a few hours?
Well, there's not any one single focus. I mean, certainly the immediate focus was life safety, getting the former president out of there, and to care, getting care to the other victims, and trying to secure the scene as quickly as possible. It shifted then from a life safety priority to then an investigative priority. And so I guess if I had to point to where we are right now, the single greatest priority would be to identifying a motive and whether there was anyone else involved.
We're just beginning the political season. Are you guys concerned with all of these rallies that happen and how they're set up? Is this going to change maybe the venues?
Again, I would refer you to the Secret Service in terms of what they work out with the campaigns. We will continue to supply resources, as I'm sure the FBI will, and local partners as well.
When this was announced, it was, they were quite a few days of a heads up that people were getting ready to come to this Trump rally. From a law enforcement perspective, when you announce a big event like this, all that time in advance, like a week out, does it give people more time to plan something like this?
I suppose, but there's a balance, I would think, that any of the campaigns on either side try to weigh. I mean, the point of them announcing it, I suspect, is because they want the crowd, and so it's not up to us in law enforcement to tell them when they should announce or how they should announce or how they should conduct it. We offer our best advice, again, working hand in hand with the Secret Service, offer our best advice of how best to secure and protect that venue.
Sir, considering how many people were there, and you have packed in there and you have somebody at an elevated position with potentially a high-powered rifle, how lucky is it that we were only talking about a couple victims, as sad and tragic as that is?
Well, we're certainly grateful that we don't have even more victims. And again, in terms of how this could have occurred, that will be part of this after-action report and an investigation that occurs so that we can hopefully ensure that something like this doesn't happen again.
Has an autopsy been conducted yet, or is it scheduled?
It has not been conducted yet. I do not.
If somebody has videos or photos, where should they send it?
So we have the 1-800 call FBI if you have audio tips, and then we set up a specific tip line for audio and video, and that's fbi.gov/Butler.
And they should send you just like any video?
Anything that anyone has that is related to this incident that they think may be of assistance investigatively, we'll take anything and we'll analyze it and we'll make the determination if it's of investigative value.
Can you tell us if there...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So from what you've been briefed on, it sounds like law enforcement only knew he was up there until shots were fired. Is that what you're hearing?
So that is the assessment this time. That
So are you surprised that a sniper was able to fire off a handful of shots at the former president? I mean,
again, we're still working through the security apparatus that the Secret Service had in place, what potentially happened. There's going to be a long investigation into exactly what took place and how the individual was able to get access to the location, what type of weapon he had. All that it is really days, weeks, and months of investigation.
he was able to get off like 4 or 5 shots.
It is surprising, but again, to get all the details of that will come out later in investigation.
Going back to the perimeter of this building, I think it's going to be really difficult for people to understand that this building with a very high vantage point, some 100 meters away from where this is happening, isn't part of that perimeter. What goes into that conversation over what is in and out and why wouldn't that be so?
Again, the Secret Service really needs to answer that question. They conduct the initial site survey. They do the initial security assessments and determine where the different security locations should be, and they're the ones who are in charge of securing the scene. We, along with other state and local assets, are there to support the Secret Service and their mission.
How many troopers and agents were at the rally, obviously before the shooting, and how is that number determined, and should perhaps there have been more?
So I don't have the specific numbers. I doubt you do as well.
No, I can speak just for PSP. We had physically on site there probably 30 to 40 members of PSP, but we also have additional resources in the area. We utilize aviation, for example, and a variety of other resources, dogs to sweep beforehand that really aren't counted in that. And again, the number is driven by what the request is from the Secret Service. You know, just in their defense, I mean, what I would want to say is it is incredibly difficult to have a venue open to the public and to secure that against any possible threat, against a very determined attacker. That's a huge lift to try and do it. And, you know, again, the investigation will really give us an opportunity to take a look at where any failures occurred and what can be done better in the future.
Lieutenant Colonel Bivens, do you know when another briefing might be held? Tomorrow?
We don't have one scheduled, but I would tell you we will let you know and give you plenty of notice. Certainly, as soon as additional things develop that would be noteworthy or of interest to you, we'll get that scheduled and have another with you.
Locally, what can residents, businesses expect to happen with the investigation in the next couple of days? What's going to be going on there?
Well, again, the interviews will all be occurring, and so they may see law enforcement in their communities. People came from a wide area to come to this rally, I'm told. So, there's going to be law enforcement fanning out, and as additional calls, photos, videos come in, those additional interviews will result in law enforcement being out in the community conducting those interviews. But otherwise, they really shouldn't see any other significant impact in the
Could you
community.
confirm whether it's a male or female, the homicide, the bystander who died?
It's a male,
A male?
yes.
Now, I'm from a European outlet from Poland, and I'm already getting text messages from, back home, and people are asking, how could this happen? What's going on in America? I know that it's a philosophical question, but how could you talk to the people outside the United States about what happened here in Boston?
Well, again, what I would say is a tragic incident that occurred. We're not in a position to start second-guessing how or why or anything else at this point. Just know that it will be thoroughly investigated. If there is anyone to prosecute, that will be done, and we'll move forward. But I don't have a good answer for you.
We'll just take one last question.
I know that PSP said that you guys were not aware of any additional requests from the Trump team for security. What about the FBI? Was there an additional request for additional security from the Trump team, and was that denied in any way, shape, or form?
No, there was no additional request for security that was ever denied by the FBI.
What does the FBI do in these events? Like, what is
So
your
we showed up after the fact. We were monitoring the event, but it was once the incident occurred that we come and we take the primary jurisdiction for the investigation. Thank you. We'll, as we have additional information, we'll provide it. Thank you.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, guys. I hope you heard me correctly. There was the press conference, and I want to shout out to Amy. Thank you for your absolutely huge donation. Trump belongs in prison. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to heroes. And thank you so much for your absolutely great and awesome support. Crazy what is happening today, guys. And wow. Also, we have the comment from the American people: don't want more Trump, we want more cowbell. David, thank you so much for your comment and for your support. So bad news, but now at least we have the confirmation that it was definitely the real assassination attempt. The security services already confirmed that, and yeah, you heard everything. Now we have the photo of the assassinator itself. I'm speaking like those guys from Enforcer channel, right? Too much emotions, too many emotions. I should be Dennis. Okay, so this is the guy. I don't know if you can, the camera cannot focus right, and I cannot put this picture. I'm not good at tech stuff. So this is the guy. He is wearing the Demolition Ranch t-shirt, merch. He's wearing glasses, he has a long hair, and he's kind of weird guy actually, if you look at his face. Looks like the nerd with those kind of the very fat glass lenses. Sorry if I say something wrong about your kind of the personality, but it's very strange. But for now, I understand that probably this guy is the sick person, as on the conference they say some sort of the lone wolf, which could have performed this on his own. We'll see. But the case that he was wearing the demolition, so this is the front part of the shirt, the Demolition Ranch, and this is the out on the back, like the same symbol like you may find on this guy. So then he's still alive. I wonder how you can make this photo, from what perspective, and I don't think it was taken at this particular accident or incident. But yeah, we were 1 inch away from the very interesting circumstances. Again, one more photo of the guy. Why from the same perspective? I mean, from the aft and side. We don't see his real face now. But I think that more photos will be leaked to the press. And there is the bullet. Oh, there is the video of the bullet which flies. Sorry, the photo. So there was the camera, probably with high FPS frames per second setting. And there is the bullet. It's here. It's here. You will not see it absolutely, but there is the photo. I will post it on my Telegram. Well, maybe it is a Photoshop, but maybe it's a real bullet. Maybe it is. So, yeah, it was a real. For now, it's a real guy, a real assassination, from what I see. Now I have the comment from admin. That the guy, that this guy in a blue shirt is not the person. I showed it. It's not the person. So it was shared by some of the other social media platforms. He just looked like that guy. He just looked like that. Thank you, Rust, for your comment. So he just looked like this guy. But those are not the same. Yeah, even the hair looks different. So yeah. Well, guys, what can I say? Thank you. I will read a couple of your more comments from your side. Where are the comments? Okay, here we go. The comments. And tell me, what do you think about the case? And yeah, that's not him. I mean, the first image is him with the long hair. The other image with the blue shirt, it's not him. As I was told by my Telegram group admin, Rust. He's doing a fantastic job. He keeps you updated. Guys, by the way, if you want to support Rust, he'll share his crowd fund. I don't know what exactly that is, but you may go to my Telegram to support the admin. He does a nice job. Really helps me a lot, especially nowadays. Then I travel a lot, so I don't have sometimes the time to post. So he does a fantastic job. Zero information released about the shooter so far, yeah. How do you think this impacts the election? Will Trump look better as a result? Yeah, obviously. Obviously, he looked good during this assassination attempt. He stood up. He was not running. He was not fainting like the Ukrainian ex-president Yanukovych, for example. Then someone threw the egg towards him. No, he was behaving quite well. He wasn't scared, let's say. And obviously people would like it. There will be thousands of the conspiracy theories. They will blame, obviously, Democrats and the deep state of it. But, it's more profitable for Trump. This scenario, obviously. So all the situation plays in favor of Trump. However, you may say that this was made up by Trump. I don't think so, because Trump already had the lead ahead of Joe Biden, according to any sort of the polls. After failed debate, Trump started to gain more support, unfortunately, for Ukraine. Just like a movie, yeah. Just like a movie. Wow, I must give a salute to the live action sensors. This is a toe job. This thing that's a formal Darwin kicks in. Okay. 20 years old Thomas Matthew, Crocs on Battle Park, Pennsylvania. Okay, so we have the name. Do we have the name Thomas Matthew? Let me check. Thomas Matthew. Yeah. So far I don't have that name. Maybe I misunderstood your comment. And we know that at least one attendee was killed in the rally. Unfortunately. Right, guys. I want to tell you thank you a lot for participating in the live stream. Sorry, I need to pack my things and run away. Again, thank you so much for your support, for your donations, because YouTube is just canceling my job. It's the full-time job for me every day, and I'm gonna have a very long trip. It will take me around 11 hours, and after that I'll film the video with a recent update, and hopefully we'll have more information about today's case with Donald Trump. And hopefully we'll not hear bad news about Ukraine, because as you know, every day Russia takes some sort of the ground, and sometimes they launch the airstrikes on Ukrainian infrastructure, including civilian infrastructure. So hopefully it will not happen today. It should have never happened, but Putin is just a bastard. Alright, guys, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and